I know there's a gentleman.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up.
Or do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I just have a quick follow-up. Sorry. And so, but in terms of skill building, like that's really a first-hand go out and do it. In terms of,
I think you need to pick something, and I think you just need to see how that ties to other things. I think it's like you just need to find, like, you're interested in early childhood education, so you look at school gardening, or what are ways that are, you know, good integrated processes that you know, through education, how would you teach people about sustainability? Or, you know, like, I am really interested in, like, architecture, so you could look at, so you just pick like one thing or two things in your spare time, take a half hour every night, and just start doing some research, and it's really kind of like you know, you started with stormwater, or you had these other things, and then you kind of realize that and everything kind of, things aren't that dissimilar. I think that's something where you feel like you're supposed to be a specialist, and you're supposed to know about this one thing and be really good at it, and I'm so much more a systems thinker, and I think that's what you need to do, is get into systems thinking, and however you find that, there's different routes to that kind of thought process. But
sure, yeah, no, I think taking something that you're very passionate about and starting there is a good way to go, because you might have some doors shut in your face, or you know, just have some setbacks. And I don't mean to be negative about it, but that passion keeps you going and keeps you charging forward.
But for skills, find a job description of the job that you want, and look at the skills, and then try to cultivate those skills. So if it's like project management, or if it's, you know, knowledge in a particular field, that's what you need to do to get those skills.
right, and I mean like actually honing it towards nonprofit. I have project management skills. I'm just it's a different set of skills, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. And but we can move on. I mean, that's fine.
Well, but just to clarify, I think that's an important point. So I personally, coming from the for-profit sector, I don't think that there are different skills for being in a nonprofit unless you're in fundraising, right, or development.
It's the same as sales. You're still getting people to buy into what you're doing. It's just different lingo, but there's a lot of overlap there. So don't be intimidated.
I was just going to say, we have a website here, EcoWiki, and if you just type in ecowiki.pdx.edu, we list all the sustainability classes offered at PSU every term in every department. So it's a good way to just kind of go down the list and just say, oh, that's so exciting, I never knew that existed.
Cool.
It's easier than going to
Would you repeat that?
Sure. Yeah. Eco, so I'll just spell it. It's ECOWIKI.pdx.edu.
Okay, I've got a couple of points. First is to follow up for what you were saying, Heather, about the sustainability certificate. I've actually just come to the end of that, and it's with the Centre for Sustainable Practices and Processes here. And if anyone's interested in that, they should contact someone called Elizabeth Lloyd, who is the person that coordinates it, or she's the administrative assistant. She deals with that. And yeah, it's pretty good, so look at it if you're interested. The second thing is a question really probably specifically for Will, who came from a different background and was merging into you know, the sustainability network, if you like, in Portland. I obviously, you can probably tell from my voice, don't come from around here. And I have 9 years working, project manager experience working for the sustainability related sector in the UK. So I'm completely out of the loop, or I'm relatively out of the loop of making connections here. But I've been trying to do that and trying to build that up. But I guess my question is did you find that the level you'd reached, if you like, in a career sense, when you were working in the for-profit sector, how did you translate, or where did you picture yourself when you went into a new field? Because the problem I'm facing right now is
you're too senior, you think?
I think that there's a difficulty because I have got that experience, and I don't know if I can legitimately apply for the first round of jobs.
I mean, there is that risk, and so it's up to you to kind of tailor your pitch and your resume to downplay or kind of overcome that barrier with the person who you're talking to. And there I would emphasize your skill set, your vertical skill set, not so much your experience, but just that, like, if you're a project manager or you're an analyst or an IT person, like, you're an expert at that. and stay away from how senior you were, because that will, in some cases, scare some people off. In my experience, the position that I ultimately got at BEF, I almost wasn't considered for because they thought that they couldn't afford me or that I wouldn't be interested. And you just have to be clear with people that you are willing to take a step back in your career. You're probably going to need to take a pay cut at a nonprofit.
I've got no problem
So
with
is that
taking
what you
a
write
pay
about as the
cut.
salary component?
No.
I've got no problem with taking a big pay cut. Really, what I'm interested in is getting
Right.
And,
Did I answer your question about managing the message?
yes, I think so. I mean, I think it sounds like it's a difficult balance between saying I don't mind what you pay me and not coming across as being overly desperate.
Overly desperate. Yeah, that's the trick.
It's either you're going to do it well or you won't. I guess you'll find out.
Yeah.
Other questions?
Hey, I'm new to the area, 2 weeks. I have my international MBA, and it was focused on corporate responsibility, so I'm more on the business side, but I do have nonprofit experience as well. Basically, I want to get to know the area and want to see how I can network. I went to Green Drinks, I think you were working at. And I just want to know what organizations and what groups and how can I meet other people, like-minded people, in addition to Green Drinks, where I can, find out more about what's going on in the area. If you guys
We'll just ramble off a list of.
Should we just go down a row and like our
We
top
only got-
three, maybe? Three.
Go
We
for
can
it.
all do our top three.
Yeah.
You start.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm trying to blank.
Okay.
If you started last time, you can do it again.
So I would say Green Drinks, for those of you who don't know about Green Drinks, it's we meet the first Tuesday of each month in the Eco Trust Building that's in the Pearl on, I think, 9th and Johnson. And it's informal networking, so a lot of people there are looking for work. There are a few job opportunities that are usually announced, and there's also a reasonable number of people who already work in the industry. So it's not like you'll go there and walk away with a job, but you'll go there and maybe walk away with a few business cards. The other one I would suggest might be Net Impact. Do they have a Net Impact chapter here at PSU?
It's through the school business.
Okay, great. We talked about Natural Step. I've kind of stolen each
You
of
got
mine.
mine.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. I was just thinking, the Natural Step, might check into the Zero Waste Alliance, and they have an office here in Portland, I believe. A couple of others, well, obviously you'd want to connect with PSU, so I just opened yours there.
There's a wonderful organization called Northwest Earth Institute where they offer
Yes.
classes in sustainability, and really they're just wonderful classes. And if you can connect with one of those, the class, you meet a lot of people that are interested in the same thing. It's a really wonderful organization.
I would also connect with the Office of Sustainable Development.
It's actually the part
Called
of
something
PPS.
else now, yes.
Environment planning and
Department of
sustainability.
Planning and Sustainability. That will hook you into the local government and their initiatives.
I could add, I think a great kind of just general resource is a redirect guide. And I just looked through the whole thing.
There's a box of redirect guides up
There
here.
we go. That's what I did. I actually called Mike Johnson, who's the founder, when I wanted to change careers, and I had a cup of coffee with him and rambled at him for an hour and kind of gave him some good advice, and here I am. So it was definitely, so I think there's a lot of good things in that guide that can help you pique your interest. I like Growing Gardens as a good organization. I don't know, there's just so many. It's like the city, there's the county, there's state issues, there's, it depends what you want to do. There's the Bus Project, is great. They engage young people in voting and progressive issues. And there's a lot of politicians, more definitely on the left, are very involved in that organization, but that's a great place to kind of meet people. They're very into social networking and getting people involved. So if anybody goes to my website, fiddleheadlandscapes.com, I have a local partners page, and I do have some books and resources and things on there. So.